a drink, dirty or virgin, common water or whiskey or gin. You don't have to be coy. Here's Ricky and Joy.
Hello and welcome to the 3rd year anniversary of Nightcap, the bi-weekly web show consisting of two friends unwinding with the topics that make us hot. My name is Richard Pucci, and I have some Southern comfort that is hanging out in a jar that once held yogurt. And this is my co-host, Joy. I'm a real vlogger, Nickens, because you're not a streamer anymore. You're a blogger.
I'm a vlogger that now has a new vlogging camera.
That's
courtesy of Bippy. I'm gonna pay Bippy back. Yeah. I have to put that in because I'm like, I don't want people to think that I'm out here with some money, but I'm gonna pay her back. So yeah.
Me too. Look at that. No, this is that's a really old camera. It's one of the cameras. It's one of the cameras that the screen is like, it's like built into the front, but it's like built in. Like it's not a screen on it. It's like.
I had one of those. I had a Nikon like that. It was my first digital camera ever. Oh no, sorry, my second.
Oh, and before we get started with anything, here is Rodney. Rodney says, "Hey, happy anniversary."
Thank you,
Rodney. I was a little obnoxious today, and I sent Mr. Rodney a Twitter message ASAP.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I sent it to him before we even started. I was like, "Hey, my God, please, it's our anniversary. Please show up." Like you've been there since episode 2. I don't think we had any viewers episode 1. But episode 2 we got Rodney. So Rodney has been with us for like 71 episodes. So thank you very much, Rodney. That's why we named our fans Rodneys.
Oh my God.
Right. Shout out to all the various Rodneys we've had. We've had Rodney Beth. We had Rodney Ting. Well, we still do. Rodney Cupid.
Rodney Rick.
Rodney. I was gonna say Rodney Rick. Rodney Chris. Look at that. Family. And then the 2 times we had trolls like come in and like tell us that we sucked, which was amazing. At the end of that, we were like, we made it.
There were 2 people that just slithered their way in. Aw.
I was like,
surprised at the tweet. He was surprised at the tweet, Rodney.
You know what? It's so weird. On YouTube, they didn't say anything about it, but I created the Nightcap Twitter account basically at the same time that I created Nightcap, that we can create a Nightcap. So when I created the Twitter account, it was like, yeah, it's 3rd year anniversary. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that means that Nightcap is 3 years old too. So yay us. Woo. All right.
Cupid.
Yay. So happy that you're watching, even though you know all the topics that I'm going to talk about. All right, so life update. I'm getting ready to move. So allegedly, we need to have our keys on the 1st, which is on Saturday, and it's also Memorial Day weekend.
No.
Labor Day weekend. I always get them wrong. I don't even pretend to, like, I just know I'm going to think the wrong one.
Oh, good.
Because you would think that Labor Day is a celebration of like no labor. Like you would be like, oh, shouldn't that be like the one that happens first? Because like you just did your whole year. Like so we should be getting the keys to the apartment sometime this week before the 1st, because that would be Saturday, and they have to give it to us before Saturday. So fingers crossed, it's gonna happen Thursday. All the furniture and big stuff. It's already like easily pretty much accessible. So the last minute, like me packing up clothes and stuff, that's going to be, but I can always use a car for that. So that's not really an issue.
Okay.
And the only thing, I didn't really like consume much of anything this week. I think for the most part, I've just been consuming tea. So I can
Ooh.
later on in the show, I'll do a little tea update. Tea update. I've wasted money. No, it's not really. Cupid.
It's not. It's supposed to help you.
Yes, it helps detox. It makes you poop. No, that's not the kind of tea that we got. The YouTube tea or the Instagram tea. What was that? Make you
I think so. Yeah. Well,
flatter belly dietary tea.
it's like
How about you, Miss Joy? What's up with you?
Well, since you're getting your keys this weekend, my weekend is going to consist of Baby and I going to Boston for the first time.
What are you going to do there? Have you ever been to Boston?
No, we're going to do stuff. So we're going to leave on Friday after work, and then we're going to be there till Monday. And they just got stuff planned, mostly like a lot of cool like nature walk stuff, like the pond, and then we're gonna go find some lobster rolls, and we're gonna go on a walk, and we're gonna go to the city, and we're gonna see stuff, and then of course that's really why I wanted the camera, so we can document and take pictures and stuff. So yeah.
I know the way you work. You were like, yeah, BB, like we should have pictures of when we go on this great adventure for us and the whole world.
I mean, my phone doesn't take good enough pictures, and her phone tends to like die. Her phone, great quality, but it tends to die faster. And then I was doing all the vlogging on my old iPhone, and it just doesn't have enough space. So I was like, I could do a vlog. I could do a whole Boston trip and pictures, and we can get people to take pictures. And it's like a mini DSLR camera. So
yes,
I don't have to worry about bringing my giant camera, and it's portable and all sorts of stuff. And it has the of course, if you've seen any other YouTube thing, it has the flip.
Stop.
Yeah.
Just wait until you get like one of those like muff things, like when you get all the stuff added to like a cute little camera, and it's like it's got the external microphone, it's got the external microphone buff, it's got the like circle ring light. Like by the end of it, it's like carrying around like a major like a big
appliance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I mean, this one doesn't have an external microphone. That I have to do on my bigger camera.
Okay.
But this one, I was like, all right, cool. I can bring it around and not feel so, hey, look at me with the big camera, versus like, hey, we're low key.
Yeah.
And it takes great pictures, great videos and all that stuff. So there's that. Also, if you guys have not noticed, I'm also wearing AirPods.
Welcome
got those. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say welcome to the clan.
Yes. These are so great. Baby nicknamed this the Tic Tac box. Tic Tacs. So I really like these. They're like hella convenient. And again, if you guys do have any suggestions for Boston, like let me know, because I see some suggestions here.
Yes. I was going to say Rodney Cupid said make sure to hit Faneuil Hall.
What is that? Is that like the food marketplace? Faneuil. I'm not sure. I will Google it to make sure.
Okay. And then Rodney said that he bought the green detox powder. How did it work? Did it hurt your belly too much, or did it make everything go smoothly? That's my concern. If like a detox, like, because like green tea is really good for you, but like if it causes a lot of bloating and discomfort, then I don't know if it's worth it. And then Rodney also said Dragon Con is this weekend here. And when are you guys going to join the Jedi Council, aka Android? Laugh out loud.
I think I've heard of Dragon Con only because there have been some people I follow on Instagram i.e. the Black Lightning cast, that I think they were down there and they were like, oh my God, we're going to go for this con and stuff. So I was thinking that's the same thing. I don't know. Is it the same thing?
Rodney says that his system is running smoothly, but his tummy does feel weird though. So that might be from it speeding up the metabolism, which is one of the things that it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, green tea helps. But you know what? Again, baby, that would be like her subject because I don't really know much about tea. And also my best friend Kelly. She is also a really good tea person. She got it from her mama. Oh, same thing. Okay, cool. Same thing. All right, dope. One other thing there was so many things that happened, but I wanted to bring this one up too. So, a while ago, Baby is an artist and a very, very good one. And one day, I hope I'm getting the story right, but like she asked me if I wanted to draw something, and I said yes. So I am not creative, so I drew this picture of something. And I was kind of, I was upset at it because I'm not good. Like I'm not as good as she is. So, and it wasn't jealousy. It was just like, oh, I wish my art looked as good as yours, or sampling of decent work. So, one day, yesterday, she took the same picture. Huh? Oh, okay. I can show you. So this is the picture that I drew and painted, and this is what it is.
Oh, wait. I said something, so it switched. Oh, that's so cute.
So this is supposed to be a Welsh corgi in sunglasses, or it's supposed to be it's supposed to be the menswear dog. So the Shiba Inu with sunglasses. That was my inspiration for it. The Shiba Inu. I don't know if you guys follow menswear dog, but he's just the sexiest dog. So anyway, that's what I drew and painted with Baby's help. And then as a surprise, Baby turned it into digital art.
Oh, look at it!
So dope. Like, I don't know if you can. It's so bright. Hold on. So it's digitally, and if you guys don't know, I started to change all my social media pictures to this picture. Because I was just so excited, and she was just coloring it and shading it and everything. So she printed it out so I can have it physically, and then she sent me a picture so that I could like have it digitally. So I'm changing all of my profile pictures to that.
Oh my gosh. Baby, you can do that to the Nightcap logo if you have spare time in your spare time. You can do that. I don't care. I made it in a 10-minute period of time. No, I didn't.
Oh, you did not.
Half an hour period. It was a half an hour period of time.
Oh God. Okay. Wow. I mean, well, she's really, really creative. So
What's your commissionable rate?
That's where you hit her in the DMs. I'm okay with you going in her DMs. So yeah, it was just really, really, she's done so much for me, like in general. I know it's about our 3-year anniversary, but like, she's done so much. So I was just so happy in general. But yeah, and then, also real quick, in terms of what I've been getting into.
Yeah,
the most
get
recent
into
thing,
it.
I bought these 2 comic books. These 2.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
All right.
This one, so
Wakanda Forever. Yeah.
This one, I don't know, because I apparently missed the whole story. This is like the last one. So I need to go back and revisit. This is the one that I want to talk about. This one's great. If you guys haven't read this one, like, it just came out. You can read this one.
Okay. Crowded.
Yeah. It's about and it's I have the poster part. It's about this girl, the one in the pink here. Okay. She gets a bounty on her head, but you see, like, she's on her phone and stuff. It's basically like GoFundMe or a crowdfunder.
Yeah.
Razor? What is it? Kickstarter?
Kickstarter.
So someone put out a Kickstarter for her to die. And there's like 1,000 people that are backing it. So now everyone's trying to kill her. So she hires this girl. Her name is Eva.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's Eva. I forgot now because I just finished it. But her name is Eva. So she is her bodyguard. And she has to figure out what. Well, they both have to figure out why people are out to kill her. Because she apparently has no idea. But I think she got some secrets, this hoe. She gonna reveal some stuff. And then she has to figure out why people are trying to kill her. And if she's as innocent as she claims.
She's not.
And she's not.
Spoiler alert, yeah. She's not.
This was so, like, when I read it, I guess what made me so interested in it too was the fact that it was so absurd, but yet sort of close to our own reality. Where the girl, I was telling Baby about it, but like before she was out for being murdered, like she did so many jobs in terms of like her life. So like she woke up, cleaned her apartment, then rented out her apartment via an app. Then she like did some hours on like Uber, whatever their Uber app is. So then after she drove around people on Uber, then she rented out her car via an app. And then she rented out a dress for a friend. And then she tutored someone on an app. And then she went dog walking on an app. And then she turned all the apps off. I'm skipping around, but she turned all the apps off to go out and hook up with some dude, which I thought was funny because that's the one app that we use currently. But they specifically didn't have her use an app to find a hookup. She just went offline, found a dude, and left before he could ask her real name. And that's when people started trying to kill her. So, in one sense, she hired this bodyguard on an app.
Yeah. Huh.
So in one sense, in their universe, it's so like, oh, that's so crazy. Like you have to hire a bodyguard via an app. But then I'm like, nah. With the way the world is going, that might be a thing.
Well, I think the twist that they're gonna the twist is gonna be something linked up with the fact that like everybody else hooks up with on apps, like, and yet she didn't.
Could be.
Like, you know what I mean? There's like animosity towards the entire world. They're like, what? You figured it out. We can't.
Something like I'm hoping it's that because the way that it is looking, something's going on with this girl and she did somebody wrong for so many people to be like, it's time for her to die. But apparently it's something that it's only valid for a month.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm excited to read more of it, but yeah.
Well, if it sells well, then I have a feeling they'll start a new Kickstarter with 1 million people that want to see her dead.
Oh, it could be. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd
be great.
That's an educated guess. If it goes well, if not, it'll just be limited run. Yeah. All right, so our viewership. I don't know. Well, I guess you do like tea, because I know Rodney is watching and he likes his Detox tea, and Rodney Cupid, and then we also have a third person. So hello, third person. But if you like tea, there is a store called David's Tea.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of it? It's a Canadian. It's a Canadian tea store, and it took the place of like Tavana in my heart. There was Tavana, and they got bought by a Starbucks, and then Starbucks ate them up and then spit them out, and now Tavana doesn't exist anymore. So I went to David's Tea, and I bought these cute little tins, and there are 4 teas in them. The first one is cookie dough. Ooh. It tastes really good. It tastes like cookie dough. I've tried that one. There's also red velvet cake.
Ooh, sweet.
Apple custard. Ooh. And chocolate covered almond.
Now, this tea, how do you consume this tea?
All right. So actually, surprisingly enough, I still have my tea maker over here. So what you do is you heat up the water and you pour it into your tea maker. You lift it up, you pour the tea water in there, and then you put, this is loose leaf tea, which means that there's no bag. And this is chocolate covered almond. And see how it's like loose in there?
Yeah.
So what you do is you pour that in, like 2 teaspoons, you fill it up with water, and then you wait, and then each tea has like a different like specification. So it's sort of like black teas and herbal teas can get really hot. Green teas and white teas can't. It'll actually scorch the tea leaves and it'll turn it bitter. Ew. So I got all those like dessert teas, which is so weird because like it actually tastes like dessert. And so me and Cupid, we tried cookie dough as well as red velvet. He's not really like an apple dessert person, and he wasn't too crazy about the almond smelling one. But while I was at Target, I found this Tazo tea.
Wow.
And since it's backwards, you can't read it. But
no, I can.
Oh wait, really?
It says Tazo vanilla bean macaron.
Yeah.
Or macaron.
Right? Because it's the French macaroon. Because
yeah.
Did you guys know that there are 2 types of macaroons? There's coconut macaroons and French macaroons.
Oh no, I don't know anything about macaroons.
Yes, it's like the French macaroon. It's like a cookie, and it's like a gelatiny cookie, and it's got like a sort of like it's like marshmallow sort of ish. It's gelatin based, and it's really good. And then it's got like a faux cream in the center, sort of like that. And then the other kind of macaroons, it's like just coconut. It's like coconut shavings, like and gloopy. That's good too, but I prefer the French macaroon. I'm sorry, Rodney. Hopefully this is enthralling because really I have tea talk. And this is actually very, 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 very good. And it is a black tea, so it has caffeine in it, but not too much caffeine. It's the sort of thing that you can drink it at night and get a little bit of caffeine in you, but you can still go to bed. It's not like anything else. And then I wasn't going to show these, but whatever. It was their end of the year sale.
Ooh, what'd you get?
It was their end of the year sale. So I got a whole bunch of, so one of this packet came with like 6 of these, and they are Sweet Tart. It's a tea called Sweet Tart, I guess for Valentine's Day. And it still tastes good. And it came in like a little pouch, and it was like cheap. So I bought it. Okay. And then they also have these for like these huge ones for iced tea, for like a huge pitcher of iced tea. And this is called Superfood Splash, Turmeric Glow, Morgana Mermaid, and Organic Goji Green. I feel like you would like that one, Rodney, because it's like a green tea and it's goji. And I bought a cream of Earl Grey, which it's an Earl Grey, but it smells like there's cream in it, and it's just loose leaf tea. So the flavors, I find that David's teas are actually really good. If you have a David's tea in your area, or if you have the internet, if you have the internet, it's good. It's good mass-produced tea. It's not like going to like a small coffee tea shop. Like no,
I think I've seen that Jersey. I'm sorry, I want to say Jersey Gardens, Garden State Mall. I think I've seen it there, or just kind of on its own shop. Like I've seen it, I just never gone in.
Okay.
But yeah, Tavana. I thought that Tavana would have lasted around a little longer. I haven't seen it since.
Starbucks did what it always does. And what Starbucks does is they take these companies, they say, oh, we'll throw you money and you'll migrate with us. And you know what happens? They eat them up, and within a year and a half, 2 years, they spit them out. It's true. They do that. I mean,
just long enough to take their secrets and then, yep.
Tazo was actually created for them. And then they threw them out of the wayside. Tazo's good.
Starbucks.
Did you know that Tazo like is a word created by the Tazo company? Like it's not an actual word. They were like, yeah, it sounded like tea, and it sounds exotic.
No, I don't know anything about tea. Like I know nothing of tea.
I just wait until we get our apartment. Cupid also likes tea. Yeah.
I know nothing of tea. I just know whatever people tell me about tea.
Oh, it's crazy. If you've ever been to like a tea shop, it's so funny because Starbucks to me reminds me, it's very like steampunkian, you know, like you have the steam and you have these like big machines. And then like when you go to like Tivana or David's Teas, they have these big canisters of like loose leaf tea, and the people are there and they're like, oh, what do you want? And then they're just like, they're like mixing all the stuff, and it looks like alchemy to me. So it's like very like, it's very like different. It's like on the coffee side of things, you have like, and then on the tea side, it's like, I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, it does. I know I was watching something before where it was like the art of making coffee, and it was a whole experience, like in different countries. I know, like, I feel like the one that's coming to my mind is in Japan, where it was the last thing, like the last shop that makes coffee in like for the old days, and they have it to like a certain degree, and they have to, or espresso, it's espresso, one of those, and they were doing it, and I was like, wow, like that, it looks so like magic, like like you said, like steampunky, artisanal-ish way. So yeah, I can imagine if like we could just, you know, steam up some tea and steam up some coffee. I imagine the struggles it took back then for it to be enjoyed by people back then.
Fun fact about espresso: it was created by a man that wanted his workers' coffee breaks to be shorter.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I don't know. It's just like so many things I watch. I don't remember. But it was some guy. Yeah, he was like, I need to make this machine for this, and then he ended up tinkering around with it and found out like he can do it. He
could make the flavor of the coffee become espresso, and that his workers would spend less time on their coffee breaks. Like that's my training. I learned about that. And they also found do you know what found the coffee beans? Cupid would know this. Cupid, if you're watching, who found the first coffee beans?
A boss that didn't want people to drink coffee?
No. This is a quiz question. What animal found the first coffee beans? Allegedly.
Is it someone who's addicted to coffee?
No.
Was it a zebra?
No, but weirdly enough, it was a four-legged animal.
Was it a monkey?
No. Do you count monkeys' arms as arms or legs?
Arms. They're arms.
Oh, and
Sacagawea.
Oh, really, Cupid? Sacagawea. Oh wow, that's right. You weren't a coffee master. Goats found them.
Oh, goats eat anything.
They found that when the goats would eat the beans, they were more energetic, and that's how they figured out coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, real quick, because I remember this too. Because he says Sacagawea, and it reminded me of Pocahontas. Baby and I, for the past like 2 weekends, we watched Hercules and Pocahontas after years of us like not ever seeing them from beginning to end. I never saw Hercules from beginning to end, and she never saw Pocahontas from beginning to end. And it is so different now that we're adults. Ooh. So if you guys ever had a chance to go back and like rewatch Disney movies, you should, because there are some jokes and some themes that I was like, oh, They were way on the nose.
It's especially Hercules.
Ooh, there was. I had to. Go ahead.
Especially Hercules.
Hercules was really good.
Well, that's because they had to throw everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the backstory. There's a YouTuber that I follow named. My memory is going to crap. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm getting older. Lyndsey Ellis. And she used to work on the Nostalgia Critic
network.
And she did a whole bunch of videos as Nostalgia Chick. And she did a video on Pocahontas. And now she went away from that. And now she sort of dissects film study, like social studies through film. But in a way that's more academic than like, look at this joke. And she did a breakdown of why the guys that, do you remember the Disney movie Treasure Planet?
I remember that movie, but I didn't watch it.
Yes, those guys that did it, they did like Beauty and the Beast. And then they were like, oh, that was such a hit. You have to do it again. And then they were like, no, we want to make this movie, Treasure Planet. And they were like, no, you have to like make another movie. And so they ended up making Pocahontas. And then they were like, no, you got to do it again. Like, they were like, no, but you said that we could do Treasure Planet. And they were like, no, you got to make another movie. So then the third movie out of their contract before they could do Treasure Planet was Hercules. And because they wanted to make sure it was a success, that's why it has all the cultural references of that that time period. They like packed it with everything that way. They were like, there's no reason why this should fail. Like,
oh wow.
With like all the jokes, the fact that he becomes like a superstar, because that doesn't really equate in the mythology. Like she did a series about why Hercules as a thing doesn't really work, because the thing that he wants is to be up with his father Zeus, and the thing that gets in the way is the fact that he is now a cultural icon. But that doesn't equate to being just and higher up, because he needs to save people. Like, he needs to like be a hero.
Well, the thing was, he was supposed to become a true hero. Yeah. And he wasn't a true hero because of popularity. So he was like, well, what makes me a true hero? And you're like, you got to figure that out, man. Yeah. Like, that's not, we can't tell you. So then once it was figured out, it was really good. I was like, oh man, I didn't remember this in the movie, and it worked. But yeah, it was when it happened, when he became really popular and all that, I thought it was really funny. And I was like, wow, that's so real. Like, that was social media before social media. Like,
yeah. No. Absolutely. But
I liked it.
Yeah. And it was definitely a good marker. It was sort of a good marker for where we were socially at the time. I think it would be very interesting to watch Hercules with kids that are young now. Yeah. To see how much of that does not necessarily translate, because it's a very different time.
Well, I mean, watching it now, I felt like it was relevant. It was still relevant, especially when there was actually one joke. You read Oedipus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they made an Oedipus joke.
Yeah, something about his mother, right?
Yeah, because Hercules and Meg watched, I think they watched Oedipus or something in the movie. Like, they came from the movies and like the Colosseum, and they did it. And they're like, oh man, that guy Oedipus was like, I thought I had a complex. And I was like, what? Like, I had to go back and remember what happened, and then I had to wiki it and explain it. And I was like,
you did?
Yeah, because we haven't done that. I hadn't done that since high school. Like, really thought about Oedipus and why that was so crazy. And I wanted to make sure I didn't get the story confused with with Macbeth or something. So Yeah, it was really cool. Rodney said Hercules and what? Like the Disney movie Hercules. And it was hella black, like with the lady singing the gospel. I don't know what they're called again.
The Greek chorus.
Yeah, they were like they really made them like. Mm-hmm, you say the gods a day, and I was like, I don't remember it being this black, but okay. Like, he's like, go show them, honey, and I was like, I'm here for this. Like, so yeah, both of them, Hercules and Pocahontas, watching them again as an adult, I was like, wow, like they were dark, like good dark, but then dark. But of course, we both agreed that I really wish, and we wish that Disney would go back to that animation style because they were really mind-blowing.
Yeah.
What they did. And just like Pocahontas with the color, can you color the wind? The Hercules with the graphic design back then of the monsters and the 3D that they were experimenting with. Like there are a lot of things they could do, but I don't know if it's because of time. They're focusing more on the Pixar stuff, like the 3D, Incredibles, like
the computer
kind of
animated
style.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because now digital and computer is in that they're just not going to go back to animation style, but I would really love if they did.
You know what the crazy thing about, because I looked up some of the stuff online about that, and the movies that they were creating, they were like, let's try it, let's try it again. Like one of the last like features when they before they jumped to like doing mostly computer animated was Brother Bear, and that wasn't very successful. Brothers Bear, yeah.
I never saw it. Never saw Brother Bear.
Where it's like one of those things where they made missteps and they were like, let's try this and animate it, Yeah, Brother Bear, and also Princess and the Frog, which had which had a whole bunch of issues on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, mainly the story. I was like, this isn't right. Like, I understand Princess and the Frog, but I was like, so basically she's a frog the whole time, except for the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
You really don't see her. It was kind of like Shrek in a way, where you see Fiona as the ogre the whole time, except for the part where she's a human. But yeah, I really wish Disney, now that they've had more success with the computer stuff, that they would go back to the drawing board, I guess.
It's costly. It's more costly. Yeah. I think it's more beautiful, but because of their profit margins, they're not going to want to go back to that. If they can do cheaper and faster. And also another crazy thing is that, like, let's say if they make a table, like if they like draw out a table and create a 3D table, they can change the external or whatever, and then be able to drop that table in to another film.
Oh wow.
So you can like reuse the stuff that you create in that format. Isn't that like crazy? Like,
well, it's faster for sure, more efficient.
And same thing with like characters. So they could be like, okay, this is like generic person number 12, And
they could just build on.
And they can literally build on that and, hit a button and adjust, various color cosmetics to it. That way it randomizes it.
Well, I guess maybe I'm frustrated with that, and that they're doing a lot of live action films now. I'm like, I didn't want that. No, I didn't ask for that. I mean, hey, it's what people want, but I was like, I didn't ask for. You don't have to. Why are we doing this? I didn't want any of them. I already saw the cartoons. I don't want actual people, because then you're gonna. Because clearly, what we all want or like or reminisce about is the cartoons, and you're gonna now have people try to exceed that expectation of being such and such character when you already are used to them and used to them looking and sounding the way that they do due to your childhood. So,
I don't know. I think, I think part of it, and I hate Disney. I do.
Oh, you do?
I hate Disney. I think probably part of it is trying to rekindle the childhood want of watching like some of their old stock stuff. And so they're thinking like, oh, it's a good way to like get kids into the theaters, because also the parents will be like, oh man, I really liked Beauty and the Beast, or oh, I liked Mulan.
Yeah.
So then like, so now you have this kid say like, ooh, I want to see this new Disney film. And the parents like, you know what? I like that when I was a kid. You know what I mean? As opposed to being like, yeah, as opposed to like DreamWorks where it's like, oh, here's this like funny sort of foul-mouthed character that likes to burp a lot. And it's just like, oh, my kid wants to see blah, blah, blahs. That looks dumb. Oh, look, Disney. I recognize those characters. Let's see what they did with it. Or I wonder how that would look in real life.
Yeah, I would get DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney and all of them confused, because I'm like, well, who's doing the 3D animation again? Like, what movie is this? Is this Disney?
Yeah.
Is it not Disney?
Especially now that everybody's doing, like, that's, yeah. But I don't know. I do prefer hand-drawn animation.
Yeah, me too.
Even if it's not hand-drawn, even if it's done with like a little tablet.
Oh yeah,
And not a real cell.
It's funny, that was one of the other things that we did, that it was called Animation Night, and it happens all in New York City. And the one that we went to, they had, I'm gonna say less than 20, but more than 10. And there was animation shorts. And some of them were longer. Some of them were like almost 15 minutes. And some of them are shorter, like 2 minutes. Like it was really nice to see different styles. And the ones that were drawn, I was like, oh, wow. And then there were ones that were 3D and they were so funny. And a lot of them were creative and some of them had story and some of them were just like abstract. Yeah. And it was nice to appreciate that there are people, and a lot of them were like France, China, South Korea, Germany, there was Mexico. Like there were a lot of artists that go to these, visual art schools, and they did these shorts. And it's nice to see how people our age, or maybe even younger, or maybe even older, are still trying to continue that art, whether it's hand drawn, animated, or digital. And I was positive about the future. Like I was positive that we're still going in a great direction.
Well, soon enough it'll be retro, so we're good.
Oh yeah, the one I liked, the one I'm thinking of the most was it was an 3D animation about the Grim Reaper, but he was little. He was like a cute little Grim Reaper, and he would of course kill things. And there was this dog that wasn't afraid of him, like a little wiener dog, like a fat wiener dog. So Death was gonna kill the dog, but then decided not to because it would fetch things for him. So he was hanging around with the dog, and it was funny, and they would kill stuff together, and the dog didn't care because it's a dog. So one day Grim Reaper was leaning against a tree, and he put his scythe there, and then the scythe dropped and it killed the dog, and then it cut him in half. And then he was like, no, like he got so upset, and it was so sad. And then the dog spirit just came to him. It was like, and he was like, yay. Like,
yeah, it was like, well, that totally makes sense, because all the things when they die, when the Grim Reaper kills everybody, it's not like they're like, oh, let me hang around you. Like, oh yeah, I like you. It's like, no, you freaking just killed me.
It was the cutest thing, because me, I love dogs, and I was just like, oh, it would be so, like, right after he accidentally killed him, I was like, it'd be so great if his soul would follow him forever, and it did. Like,
and it made you happy, and it took you where you needed to be.
It did. So yeah, shout out to Baby again for providing all these events and all these fun things, because we're talking about Disney and animation and stuff. That was one of the cool things we did. So, oh man, so much going on. Next month is like packed on the weekends. So packed. I think I saw on the calendar there's like one day, I think it's Sunday, that we're not doing anything. And then I even feel like we might be doing something. So
that'll be one of those days that you're like, okay, let's make it up as we go.
Oh my God. Because I'm thinking about it. Did you see the trailer for Life is Strange 2?
I did hear that it was out.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, because...
Or I saw the teaser.
Okay.
The
teaser, but not the
train teaser.
Yeah.
I saw
but
that.
Not the trailer.
I didn't see the trailer because of I was trying to keep my distance because I had to 3 weeks ago, I didn't say anything. I needed to repair my serpentine belt in my car. So that was like $430 something. And then I needed to do my tires and an alignment. And while it was there, they said I need new brake pads. So that was an additional
where did you
414. I went to my mechanic for the first round. For the second round, I needed to go to a tire place because my mechanic can't do alignments. And while it was there, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, your brake pads need to be done. If you don't get it done now, it's gonna start damaging the rotors.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you can do that. And he was like, either you can do just the pads or do the pads and the rotors, because typically we pair them together. It'd be more expensive. But I was like, no, I'm just going to do the pads. And so he was like, okay. And then when I left, they also charged me for like a brake flush. And so I called up. I was like, yeah, I agreed to $79. Not the additional $79.99 for the brake flush. I was like, I didn't authorize that that service. And so I spoke to like a manager person, and they were like, "Oh, I can give you 3 free oil changes." I was like, "No, thank you." Just so you know, I was like, I'm a little perturbed. I'm like, I didn't ask for that service. And then I spoke to the mechanic, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I thought I said something." I was like, "No, you said 79, or you said, you know, the difference between those two services." I was like, I didn't agree to that one. And he was like, okay, just come on in and, you know, we'll take it off. And they did.
Oh, yay.
And like, it wasn't like a big, I didn't have to like rediscuss it, you know. And when I went to go leave, the guy was like, oh, you know, sorry again for that. And I was like, oh no, it was probably just an honest mistake. I was like, just to let you know, I'm completely happy with the services that I requested.
Yeah.
I wanted him to know that it's not like I was like walking out being like, screw this place. I was like, no, like they did good work. They fixed my problem. It wasn't a big deal, so I would go back.
I'm actually going down there tomorrow because I have to get a wheel. I never remember what the name of it is. But
a wheel alignment? A wheel?
No. It's a wheel. I'm gonna pull it out in 5 seconds. Wheel bearings.
Okay, yeah.
My car is making this noise in the front.
Is it a clunk?
No, it's like a low growl.
Okay.
Like, it sounds like a sports car, but my car doesn't sound like my car is a sports car, but it doesn't sound like a sports car. So it was sounding a little like, and I was like, I've been driving this car for 10 years. It don't do that. So then I took it to Pep Boys and I was like, well, what is this? And they were like, oh yeah, it's your wheel bearing. You got to get that replaced. So then I called my dad and I was like, yeah, my car's doing this noise. And he's like, oh yeah, it's definitely that. So I'm going to go, my cousin Junie goes to the golf down in Neptune, and he has a mechanic there that fixes stuff like that. So the Pep Boys here was going to charge me $1,000, whatever. Yeah. So then I called the mechanic down there, and they chopped it down to like $300, like $315. That's including like labor, parts, everything. So I'm gonna get that done.
That's probably if they don't run long with it.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, well, check it, because you know if we're gonna go to Boston, like I want to make sure my car is at least in a condition to be driven. Because I never, like you said, I've never gone to Boston before. Baby's been to Boston once, but we're driving there in my car. Yeah. And I don't want anything bad to happen because I didn't have money to like check the car out. or I was too lazy to go get it. So get it done. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be heading down there. Hopefully, side note, our New York Comic Con passes should be at my house, so I can pick those up as well, because we're going to go on the Sunday. And then, so we'll get the car done. And then we'll be heading off to Boston Friday. So yeah, it's just this last bit of information. Like you said, car stuff, it's like you start off with one thing. And I mean, and the people, the Pep Boys, they were really nice. He was like, I would give, like you can get the parts online and like we would give you a discount because they're, they're cool like that. But yeah. I was like, I could probably get this done in Jersey, like down at like, like down where I'm from.
But also especially in New York, yeah.
So that's why I was like, let me just, at least let me find the diagnosis for this and then we can move forward. And I definitely do want to ask them about replacing the windshield, because I'm still driving around with a cracked windshield.
Stop.
I know.
I feel like we're completely opposites. I'm pretty good about replacing like things that I see and know are wrong. It's the stuff that I'm like, oh, that just made a thing. Like, yeah.
I mean, it's not that I don't, and it's really like not that I don't care. Like, I'm good with the maintenance. I'm good with like staying on top of like insurance and now, the registration, insurance registration, like all of that stuff I'm okay with. But when it comes to all these repairs, it sucks because, of course, being a young girl, it's kind of like you can't just take advantage of me because, like, hell if I know what the fuck's going on with the car. Like, I don't know.
Don't use that as an excuse because they do the same. No. I'm like, they do the same shit to me.
Oh, good. Because I'm like, I don't want, sometimes I'm just like, the main problem is like, I just want you to fix it. I'm okay with paying money. But of course, it's like, I'll go in there for one thing and it's the whole razzle dazzle of trying to get you to do all the other stuff. And I'll be like, I ain't got money for that. Like,
yeah, that's what I said when he said routers. When he was talking about my rotors, I was like, no. And that's what I also said the other day. I was like, listen, if you would have said it needed a brake flush beforehand, because literally what I said was, what I was going over in my head was, do I have enough money to pay for the extra $200 expense for rotors? No. So like literally let me know the cost of it beforehand. That way I can check my budget as to whether or not I can get it done. Like, because if I can't get it done in this paycheck, I can get it done in the next one because I prefer to pay for it out of pocket as opposed to pay on credit, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cursed.
No, it's fine. I feel the same way. I would rather know all of the costs, the taxes,
or like the hypothetical, yeah, like how much the labor should cost, because
then
that's not an exact.
Because the real life scenario is you go in there with a set price in your mind, and then you come out and they give you the receipt. You're like, where did all this extra stuff come from? And then they make it like a life or death, because it kind of is a life and death situation where it's like, well, we have to do this because if not, we can't have you on the road, like in the condition that your car is in. You can't drive like that. You have to get it fixed. It has to be done. And I'm like, damn it, like I even discussed last time with one of the dudes at Pep Boys, some other guy at Pep Boys. I don't know if it was the one up here in North Jersey or down south or whatever, or where I was at. But the guy, come to find out, I was getting my brakes like replaced, or brake pads, I think the same thing, or tie rods or whatever the hell, and it had to do with the brakes. Turns out somebody from Pep Boys put my brakes on backwards. And I'm just driving around like Lucky Larry the whole time. How would I know that the brake pads were backwards until I had my car go to my dad's coworker, and he was putting the brakes and stuff on there, and he spent a good like 3-4 hours trying to figure out why one side of the brakes wasn't the opposite, the same way. Like he was trying to put it the same way, and 3 hours later he's like, oh, the brakes are backwards. That's why I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? He's like, yo, how have you not had an accident? Because this is a problem.
Did you feel it like pulsing or anything, or no?
No, I just always brake cautiously. I'm always cautious.
You're not a last minute breaker. Like you probably coast, and then you probably coast when you see a red light, you coast. That's what I do. It keeps the brakes good.
Yeah, I never, because all this abrupt stopping is what causes people to have like rear end accidents. So I do just that. And I'm like, every time I have to brake, I usually brake like many feet away from the car in front of me. So he's like, yeah, you definitely could have died because first of all, this isn't safe. But second of all, you know, you're driving up and down the road all the time. So car stuff like this is, you know, they take advantage.
You are exactly, because you definitely you do distance in cars.
Yes. So
like that could be crazy.
So we all got car issues.
Yes.
But we'll get through it.
Exactly. You know what? Cars are the reason. That's how we get to work. So it's a necessary evil. Even if you got to put it on a credit card or borrow money or whatever,
that will pay off. We'll just pay it off as quickly as we can.
It's a lot cheaper than having to use Uber or taxi service.
For real.
All right. So I am just going to be moving from now until our next episode, and you have your trip. Any other stuff?
Well, not at the moment. Most likely a play. There's a lot of plays and stuff coming up. That's why plays / expos.
Mm-hmm.
So besides Boston, the next thing would be Six Flags, unless said otherwise. There's Six Flags and the Heroes and Villains Expo. That's the following weekend. So we're gonna be all up in New Jersey's guts, just hanging out, doing what we got to do.
Where you like it.
Oh yeah. So what about you? Besides moving, I'm excited to see your new place.
Literally just moving.
Working
because
and moving.
Working and moving, especially like signing up for all the stuff, and instead of wanting a month and a half, they want it 2 months and a half. So I'm pretty poor right now. So I like made peanut butter and jelly sandwich to go to. Like I haven't been going out as much. Like just collectively we've been trying to like consult, trying to conserve our money. So I'm sort of living a little bit more cheaply than I typically do. So which is kind of nice because then you just sleep more.
What you need to be doing, what I need to be doing,
because I'm working double tomorrow. All right, so you can follow me on Nightcap_show on Twitter, and then also like and subscribe. And you should like and subscribe to the lady that you see on the screen right now. Her name is Joy Infinity on Twitter and on YouTube's and on all the other social networking platforms except for Sony PlayStation Network, because on that one somebody messed up and took it from her.
Well, yeah, they took it and then somehow, I don't know, it was just PlayStation's fault.
Yes, screw them. So it's time for outro music, and we would like to say a special thank you to Rodney and Rodney Cupid for making this episode amazing. Happy 3-year anniversary to us. We never thought we would make it this far, but we did. What
a nice outro song.
I don't know what that song was supposed to be.
We never thought that we'd make it, but we did.
Far, but we did. And we would like to say thank you for watching Nightcap Show. Drinking along.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, Oklahoma. Thank you for watching Nightcap. This has been Joy and Ricky. We love you.
Desu.
We love you.
Aishiteru.
We love you.
I'm sure they weren't here for our singing, but
Thank you for watching. We love you. For 3 more. Yay. We love you. Bye, guys. Have a good night.